What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another BigFatJerk guide. I'm a level 80 hunter on Pagle server and host weekly GDKPs. If you're on Pagle, I hope to see you in one of our GDKPs soon, crushing 10-man Ulduar hard modes. Today, we'll be discussing Thorim. We start the encounter with an AoE trash pull, where the only thing you need to worry about is facing the giant worm away from the raid, as it does a frontal spray ability, damaging the raid, which you saw we all got hit by when we first ran in. The 10-man raid will be split into two groups of 5. Typically, casters with 1 tank and 1 healer go into the gauntlet, and melee DPS with a tank and a healer stay in the arena. Quick pro tip is once these ads are dead, you can already pre-position somebody by that lever, as you can see our healer with the moon, as it is a significantly long cast time to actually open the door to go into the gauntlet. So if you pre-position somebody over there already, they can start clicking when the last mob dies. The gauntlet consists of AoEing down Iron Ring guards that cleave, which is why we bring ranged DPS in there, and 2 mini bosses. First mini boss, which you see on the screen, does a forward moving AoE fire similar to the third boss in Utgard Pinnacle, where the ability blasts either half of the room. The damage isn't enough to one-shot you in 10 man, but should still be avoided. The AoE stops once you engage the mini boss, but if you engage him while he is still casting, he will finish the cast. The Runic Colossus requires the team to stack so he doesn't charge anyone. At 50%, he will put up a Reflect Shield, once again not too threatening on 10 men. Master these techniques, and this mini boss should go down relatively quickly. The second mini boss is the Ancient Rune Giant. That greatly buffs any remaining ads, so make sure to kill all the ads before engaging him. The main ability of this giant is to mark a player with the rune, stunning them in place and causing them to cause higher fire damage around that player after a delay. As you see in this video, I was marked standing in the middle of the hallway, forcing my raid to eat this damage. A good rule of thumb is to have the whole team stack on one side and move to the other when someone else gets a mark. If the tank gets a mark, just have everyone else move out. The last section of the gauntlet has no enemies, but instead will trap any player that moves in the large circles, which is why you just see us hugging the wall. Onto the arena. The arena consists of waves of ads to kill. The waves and spawns of the mobs are all random. Warbringers deal high tank damage and buff allies with a passive aura. Invokers, commonly spawn with Warbringers, sometimes even champions, are casters who shield damage and buff themselves to be immune to taunt. They can be dispelled. The easiest way is the wave of commoners who have a very low HP pool and die in a matter of seconds. Finally, champions are the tall mobs that are the most dangerous with a deadly whirlwind and can charge players out of range. The next ability to watch out for are these charged pylons at the edge of the room that glow blue with electricity that constantly shocks any player for moderate damage. This damage is proximity based to that pylon, so as long as it is charged and you are in range of that pylon, you will continue to take damage. The final ability is that a hammer of lightning will be thrown at one of the team members, increasing spell casting for about 8 to 10 seconds. Healers should aim to stay away from the melee and out of the middle so they reduce the likelihood of being hit by this hammer. After you successfully navigate the gauntlet and activate Thorim before he comes down on his own, you will activate hard mode. The first ability to discuss is the lightning charge ability. Thorim will light up one of the pylons and create a thin strand of lightning from the pylon to himself. This strand of lightning doesn't do any damage itself, but is just an indicator of the upcoming damage. The blast of lightning that follows is in the shape of a pizza slice that will range from one pylon to the left and right of the initial pylon that was lit up. It is a cone and therefore referred to as in the shape of a pizza slice. In 10 man, if you are at full HP, you will likely survive the damage. However, place unnecessary stress on your healers. In 25 man, it will likely one-shot you. In this notice, you will notice our tanks and healers are standing towards the entrance of the gauntlet. That is a good spot to stand as there are no pylons there, and very rarely will we see any lightning charges. The next ability is a chain lightning ability that jumps an infinite amount of time, increasing the damage to each player it jumps. Melee need to form stack groups similar to KT and Nax, and range should loosely spread. Rogues can mitigate the lightning damage ability by casting Feint. Finally, Thorim has a tank swap mechanic where tanks need to immediately taunt after Thorim casts Unbalancing Strike. This ability reduces the tank's defense skill by 200 for 15 seconds, making them crushable and crittable. Even allowing Thorim to hit the tank once with Unbalancing Strike on could lead to a death and a wipe. So tanks need to be aware of Unbalancing Strike and taunt immediately. In hard mode, Sif also joins the fight, frost knowing random players that can be dispelled, cast a Frostbolt, a volley ability that is unavoidable and needs to be healed through, and finally a Blizzard that rotates around the room similar to the Shade of Iran Blizzard in Karazhan. Just stay out of it. Melee never need to worry about the Blizzard. Timely taunts, spreading out, dodging lightning charge, and blizzard will most certainly net you a kill on this hard mode and a chance at the amazing Majornal Runestone trinket. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and I wish you all the best of luck on Thorim hard mode. Just want to point out one thing that happened in this fight that you see a lot of us died to kind of give you an idea of how quickly things can go wrong. So we had a prop paladin and a feral druid, and what happened on this fight was the melee stood too close to the tank. They chain lightning him for 10k. He took a melee swing from the boss for 10k, and then he got an unbalanced strike right after that, and the tank died. And then we only had one tank left, and we rotated cooldowns. Well, awesome players, but luckily the boss was already close to being dead, so we got him.